My name is Leighton Radner, and I am here with CD McRae, Josh Hlavka, and Kareem Maize. We're going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves as usual, and some of them you just saw last night.
Last
So,
night.
starting with CD and then
All right.
going down.
Okay. I am CD McRae, lady and cap on Twitter, host of Whiskey and Tea podcast. Come follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and I'm on Odyssey. So Whiskey and Tea podcast, y'all come check it out.
And Josh, you're good to go.
All right, I'm Josh. I'm host on Swamp Creatures podcast every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you for having me on again, Leighton.
No problem. Kareem, and you go ahead. You're all spiffy.
I'm trying. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe to buy Gab after this. Um,
You look like a Saudi investor. It's definitely not. It's definitely for a good cause. We're totally pro free speech.
hey, man, trying to stop the war in Yemen. And that's actually legit. But hi, I'm Kareem. I am a state organizer with the Mises Caucus in Pennsylvania. I also host a show, The Essential Libertarians. You can find it on YouTube. I have a couple episodes I uploaded to Rumble recently, and I'll get it on Odyssey. You can also find me on Elon Musk's social media at Kareem for Liberty.
Titter. I think it's soon to be called Titter. I think that was the promise.
As long as the Babylon B and Ron Paul come back, I'm cool.
Ron Paul's back, isn't he?
Is he?
He's been back.
Yeah. That was a whole accident that happened a little while ago. They booted him off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they got to bring the Babylon Bee back.
Yeah. Well, and so this is one of the stories we're gonna go over here, involving Elon buying Twitter, which is the encompassing story of tonight. We're going to discuss what that means and what we all think will kind of come of that. But specifically, talking about Trump, who everybody was like, well, unban Trump, unban Trump. Trump comes out and says he's not coming back, which I think is a horrible decision on Trump's part. I think that is stupid. I think that is almost damning in a way to his running, because if he thinks he's going to be able to do that with emails, or just off of pure name recognition, I think that's a grave mistake. I mean, especially if you do have a Republican like DeSantis who decides to run, maybe, and confronts you in that way, who does the opposite.
Well,
and,
doesn't he have his own platform called Truth Social? How's that?
Yeah, I'm pretty
it's
sure
on iPhone. Funny enough, I wanted to pop on there and be like, "Hey, how's Operation Warp Speed going?" and then get banned.
Yeah, well,
or post a video of him with Klaus Schwab. Hey, look, Cheeto and Klaus are buddies. I'm wondering, how long you known him.
Yeah, it seems to me that the way everything's gone down with Twitter, it seems to me very stupid for him not to come back, just in general.
It doesn't really matter. I don't think he's not gonna be there in 2024.
You keep saying that bullshit.
I don't understand where your confidence comes from.
I don't see where that comes from, because anybody traveling and doing the press and doing what he's doing, it just doesn't make sense for him not to be running. I mean, we've never seen historically. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, he's doing all that, but that's not why I'm saying that.
I want 2016 Trump back.
Yeah, no, he had some candidates.
Me too.
Year 4 or year 3, 2016 Trump was better, I think, or what I'm trying to remember back then. It's hard for me to think about what was going on with it. You know what? I don't really want any of them fucking back. I mean, this is the whole point, right? Like, fuck all these people, but at the end of the day, like, Trump's a businessman. I think he'd look at this like a fucking businessman, and I don't think he is, because if he doesn't want back on the planet, I mean, he hasn't been offered to come back, right? So maybe he's just playing coy, and eventually he will, but it just seems dumb to me.
I disagree with you.
He's coming back. Go
He's
ahead,
not
Josh.
running
I mean,
before, so it
he
doesn't
knows how to, like, he's a brand all within his own. He can leverage that. He might ask Elon, hey, yeah, I'll absolutely come back to Twitter, but fuck you, pay me.
That's
Exactly.
true.
That's exactly what I was about to say. He's gonna be like, I'm not coming back to Twitter until they pay me. And
Or
then
give
so
me-
he's gonna say so he's gonna
or
say
give-
up until now, I'm not going back to Twitter. I'm not going back to Twitter. And then
And then the first
Like,
tweet
so
that
that
comes
whenever-
out is going to send the whole internet nuclear. It's gonna
nuclear.
be fucking
And
big
why would
fucking
Elon?
mushroom cloud of.
Why would
Yeah.
Elon, who is a businessman who's trying to make money from this shit, right? Like he just had the money to do this so that he could, yeah. So he is trying to make money. He knows that Donald Trump on Twitter makes him money. So of course, like they're just gonna have this big grandiose thing of Donald Trump coming to Twitter, and we're gonna have this tweet, and it's gonna go insane. But yeah, no, he's coming back to Twitter. not good.
Magoo,
D1
Magoo,
tweet.
that is so
Donald-
fucking genius.
I actually Twitter.
Dude, that would be the funniest outcome that could possibly happen here. Trump just gets fucking Elon rubs his musty taint all over that toupee.
Says, come here, big boy. Let's get acquainted.
Let's get down to business. All right, well, we will go
you the art of
ahead.
the deal.
Oh shit.
Oh, Shannon Magoo always wins. Magoo will
So-
come in here, and if you think you're winning, you're not.
Yeah.
So obviously this is kind of a good headline, I think, for what we're talking about. Musk gets Twitter for $44 billion to cheers and fears of free speech plan. And this is addressing the fact that leftist retards everywhere have taken to the internet, including the platform, and made leave Twitter trend on the platform today. I don't know if it's still trending, but it was earlier.
They can
Which
go.
I find to be, I mean, interesting to say the least. You'd think these people would be all for it. This is kind of their savior with the electric car bullshit, but
That's actually
turns out
funny.
not so
what are they
much.
gonna do with that? Because they all love renewable energy, which I guess you could make the argument if you're a conspiracy theorist and a libertarian like me that Nikola Tesla's inventions have been suppressed, and that electric power could be utilized. But
Well, I would argue here with Hector's point, whether or not it makes it more or less obnoxious.
do you
I would
think they'll
argue
dump
it-
Teslas?
Say again?
Do you think they'll dump Teslas now because they're like, oh my
No.
god,
No. I'll
Nah.
tell you exactly why. Tesla, for him, is his namesake. It gets his foot in the door with a lot of these people.
Okay.
And Twitter will do that too for him, but not to the same extent. To Tesla, to him, is social stock more than it is business stock.
Twitter great again.
So yeah, Hector puts forward the question.
Okay, so-
Does just making Twitter great again? Yeah.
I don't
So,
think. Well, I think it's day one. So how are you supposed to?
Right.
How are you
So
supposed to know if it's
obviously
more
we don't
obnoxious or
know.
Not?
But we kind of
It's
do.
absolutely going to get more
Because-
obnoxious, but that's okay. That's what Twitter is for.
I'll argue currently, and in the following days, it may be less obnoxious because I do think a good amount of these leftist people will pour off the platform. I mean, have you seen,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen other places, but so Reddit is infested right now. They're like traffic bumped up today in an insane rate because of all the inpouring of people going over. You've got Facebook, which they had a bump today in content.
Hi.
So yeah,
So
Facebook
I
still
mean,
exists.
Yes, it still does, even though it's banned most of us off of there. But I think the
Man,
best part in
always-
all this, and this,
I've never been
It's-
banned on Facebook, and I post some ill shit over there. I don't know, and I've got like
Well-
4,000 friends.
it makes me really happy that Elizabeth Warren is saying that Elon Musk buying Twitter is dangerous for democracy.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I gotta find
Yeah,
that
she-
quote.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
I sent you the link to this. Well, I sent you the link in a DM, Leighton. But I'll read the tweet. This deal is dangerous for our democracy. Billionaires like Elon Musk play by a different set of rules than everyone else, accumulating power for their own gain. We need a wealth tax and strong rules to hold big tech accountable. Never let a tragedy go to waste, boys and girls. Welcome to Politics 101.
It's the
Jesus
smallest violin
fucking
in the
Christ.
world. Do you hear it?
I'm-
Yeah, I was
I'm-
wondering
I
what you were
hear it.
doing there for a second.
It's the
This-
smallest violin in the world. Oh yeah, because duh. Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, yeah, I think Elizabeth Warren is she's just a hater because she don't have no money. Somehow
Well,
she's
she's
like been a
fucking-
politician all these years, and like she
She's
does
annoying.
not have the
She's
amount of
still
money she thinks she
butthurt
should
about
have.
the Trail of Tears or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Pocahontas is still mad.
name's
She got
Pocahontas,
drug
Leighton.
and exposed.
Just
Oh,
your name's
fuck.
Pocahontas. Now here's my question. Actually, didn't Elizabeth Warren
There's
say?
the face of fucking reason right there. Look at that. All right. She looks like she's about to ask for the manager and cuck your balls at the same time.
Oh my god, I won't think of that. I'll lose my lunch. But I have a question. Didn't Elizabeth Warren say that? Oh, we need to stop these big investment firms from losing all their money when the stonks thing was going on in the our Wall Street bet. She's like, no, this isn't fair. The ultra billionaires. So that's kind of funny to me. She's saying billionaires need to be taxed, but she wants to protect the Wall Street people from losing any of their investments, even if they play on the casino of Wall Street and lose. So
this is
This
something
is-
this
Go
is
ahead.
something I in general Elizabeth Warren is like this disheveled, forgotten candidate from the Democratic Party who isn't worth literally the 90 pounds that she weighs. And so she has to glom on to fucking retarded statements like this to get any kind of media attention whatsoever. That's exactly what's happening here. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, tell me I'm wrong. That's what's happened. She
Because-
can't get any attention otherwise because she's fucking gone politically. So she's gonna say bullshit like this.
Yeah, but what Democratic candidate doesn't do this shit all the
Oh,
time? None of them
every-
are fucking.
Republicans
Like,
do the same thing on the opposite aisle.
Yeah,
That's
like
the problem.
like the DNC sat there
She's
and like
the
on a committee
embodiment
meeting
of
and
a
flipped the
polite
fucking
fart.
coin to decide who was going to do this. Was it going to be fucking Elizabeth Warren, AOC, Maxine Waters? Like they just go over fucking play ring around the rosy with these broads when it comes to who's going to be the one to come out and cry that we need to tax the billionaires and this is a danger to our democracy and we're all going to die. Oh no. These fucking herbs.
Also, this is the best description I've ever heard, possibly. She's the
That's kinda what
embodiment
I
of
was
a
laughing
polite
at.
fart in an out-of-service elevator.
I don't know if a truer statement
Ow.
was ever stated. Josh, you keep getting all these compliments on your looks, dude. People are
Yeah.
hardcore crushing on
I'm
you.
He's
a
a
man.
good looking
sexy
man.
dude.
What can I do?
Look
Yeah,
at you.
exactly.
Look at
Kareem-
you.
take off your shirt.
Look,
Hey.
I saw Kareem and I saw
David
him,
Brady
like,
will be 18
got-
soon.
Hey, hey,
Dude,
hey,
are we
Kareem, do we
are we
have to
all
throw you
gonna be
in
there
wood
in
chipper, man?
Minnesota for
We're all gonna have to fly
I
out
think
to
if you
Minnesota
send him
for
a
Big
message
Eight.
now, it's grooming by Fakertarian standards.
It is. I'm very careful. I only talk
Oh,
to
they
him in
know
group
all about
chats so that
grooming, what-
everything is
Fucking goddamn it. Is it the uniform? The uniform's back.
It is the uniform.
According,
Oh my god.
you
y'all.
sent me that meme. You sent that meme in the Discord and I lost it.
Yo.
According to Andy No, the Twitter employee's biggest fear is Cheeto Jesus coming back. Yeah, and that's probably true, but I don't think it really matters grand scheme
He's
of things.
not.
If
No,
Like,
he is.
how does
If
that
he
affect
comes
your fucking
back-
day-to-day at the office?
well, it shouldn't affect them. They're fucking they're Elizabeth Warren.
Their sphincter
Uh,
gets tightened by his tweets. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
I honestly believe that he's going to try this True Social. It's not going to
So-
work, and he's not going to run in 2024. So he's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah. I wanna give a shout out to one thing that I did forget to talk about at the top of the hour here. Tower Power Hour was banned off of YouTube. They have had their account suspended for, I believe, hate speech, but it was a various magnitude of stuff. There was a tad bit too much Jew talk, I think, on the last episode, and that pushed it over the edge. Sadly, YouTube
That's a little
doesn't-
high. A lot of Jew talk. I think that's a little, it was a moderate amount of Jew
Yes,
talk.
we talked about
I think that's a
Spike
little high.
killing Dave Smith and Murray Rothbard.
It doesn't ever seem to matter if I give them the stamp of approval in the chat. YouTube doesn't seem to accept those, but they'll accept a black person. We're not gonna go there. But my point is, you can say the N-word on YouTube if you're black, but you can't make fun of Jews if you're a Jew. It's kind of fucking stupid.
You can't.
But they were banned. Ins in the chat, and they will be on Odyssey. So go follow them over there, pump that up, and wait for some shows. I'm interested to see whether they change things up over on Odyssey, if we maybe see some different kind of content over there, stuff that's a little bit different. But we'll see.
You'll get them dropping the M-bomb in the first 5 minutes instead of waiting.
Dude, that first episode on Odyssey is going to be batshit insane. That's all I'll say.
I would just, you gotta go crazy one time.
Well,
There was a guy in one of my
apparently,
Discord
if you make the statement, it becomes true. So I think we're good here.
But what about it?
So I had a friend. Hang on. I had a friend of mine in the Discord server who was literally watching the video, like the replay of the latest episode, and they got a ban in the middle of him watching it. Like he was like watching it. He said it just stopped and it kept spinning, like it was trying, and then he refreshed it and it said this video doesn't exist. Whatever
Game
it says in the
over.
ban. Game. Oh yeah, he was like, what the fuck?
Wasted.
Fucking yeah. So yeah, this is a real story, Josh. You just turned me on to, but yeah.
Fuck up, David
Elizabeth
Bradley. That's
Warren.
enough out of your ass. Anyway, go ahead.
Elizabeth Warren putting it out there. Discord.
Pocahontas.
Bro. This could
Her
be
name's
just
Pocahontas, Layton.
I
This
don't
has
have
been
a
the worst thing
Discord
that-
server yet. But I have
I
to
know.
have something.
I'm like, okay. See if I invite you to mine. That's good.
Yeah.
nerds.
I guess I'm in.
Layton, I want to
I guess
refer to
I'm an
people by their real names.
So, whoa, guys, we have to discuss the worst thing to happen to our democracy since January 6th.
Is that true?
Is that true?
Did Sean
It's
King
100%.
actually?
Josh,
Did he
I don't
legit
mean to
delete
interrupt
his?
you, but did he delete
January
Twitter?
6th.
Twitter is less
No,
obnoxious.
We're all,
The
everybody was calling at
insurrection.
the same time.
Twitter is
No.
less obnoxious. Fucking Hector.
All right, let's find out.
Hector's-
How is it less obnoxious? It's about
Sean
Babylon.
King's no longer on the platform. That's a win. I'm sorry.
Look,
that just
it's like
is. That guy's irritating.
it's like a much blacker Sean King that's on there.
Yeah.
Does anybody
It's
really
like-
care about Sean King anymore?
He just gave it
No,
to somebody
he's-
who's actually black. He gave the account to somebody who's actually black. He's like, here, I don't need this anymore.
Here, take
I'm
my
done.
mark, bro.
I'm black from the
Dude,
waist
good.
down.
Bye. But guys,
His
that's
white
what I
guilt
that's
got
what
the
I
better
hope to
of him.
see. I hope to see
Wait a
mass
minute.
exodus.
I didn't
And then
know
they have
David Brady played Magic the Gathering, and we're going to have to talk because that's
I
like
think
the
I know.
only other hobby
And
I
you
have in
wanna call me
life.
a fucking nerd? Fuck you.
Oh, I am
You
I'm a nerd.
Nerd.
Magic, you got a problem?
I collect comic books, I play Magic the Gathering, and I listen to comedy all day. I'm about
Bro,
as nerd as you're going to get.
I'm just
I got more
offended
crypto
that
than
like
you, Josh.
Is
okay.
Elon
And this-
Musk the real Tony Stark?
Yes.
He's
You
like,
play-
Yes.
no, he's Tony Stark when he's in the cave and the suit's all fucked up and stupid. That's as
He
far
played
as he can get.
Battle
He
of the
can't
District.
get all the way. He makes it seem like he's all the way. And he paints the suit and he makes it look really really pretty.
But it's still fucked up and stupid.
Yes. So yeah,
what's
we're
fucked up and
gonna
stupid? What did you say?
the suit. I was comparing him to the old Iron Man, who's in the cave when he's fucking with the terrorists.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I can.
They're freedom
I
fighters,
agree.
man.
Yeah.
Alcieda. God.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we will cover a couple things here. My computer
Magoo,
is
Sean
giving
King
me
is not black.
update warnings. Sean
You're
King
from Georgia.
is.
You know damn well he is
So
not black.
I have actually seen.
Arab Iron Man.
I have seen good reason to believe that Sean King is actually
I mean, hey.
black, but not black enough. Not to claim the shit that he does and go on the tirades that he does. We'll put it that way.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Sean
Sean King is not invited to the barbecue. I'm here to tell
Sean
you.
King. Sean
Like,
King
at all. Nobody wants
Sean
him
King
there. All he does
can't
is
get
annoy
a
people.
pass. Sean King can't get an N-word pass, even if he's on Tower Gang.
Elizabeth Warren hates African Americans.
Elizabeth Warren hates African Americans?
It's true. Look, she hates like everybody. There's so many people.
Oh,
I
that's
can't
right.
understand this.
Elon is an African American. I made
He
that
is an
meme a
African
little
American.
while
Like
ago.
the richest
Yes.
man in the world is an African American, and people hate that. Like I can't understand in all of this time when we're so worried about like African culture
Yeah, that is his argument.
and African natives that like a man from Africa becomes one of the greatest businessmen in the world's history. And people hate it. An African American just bought Twitter. An African American owns one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, and you're mad about that. What kind of fucking bigots do you have to be
Yeah, you're terrible.
to hate on African American succeeding in the business realm?
Yeah,
Ignorant.
I have to agree. In a way, it is kind of bigoted. Bigot.
He doesn't
Elizabeth
fit the
Warren,
narrative. He doesn't fit the.
She-
He doesn't fit the.
She put on native face.
What narrative?
She put on she
African
got
Americans
used.
are victims. African Americans can't do anything for themselves. You understand? They can't do a single thing for themselves. So to have African Americans buy Twitter,
native-
are just as smart as white kids. Even Joe Biden said that.
Wow.
then it
Yeah.
must be
Hey,
true.
if you don't
Then
vote
it's
for me, you're not
obviously
that
true.
terrible.
Absolutely true.
Of course.
She used Indian face to get into college, and now she's repressing black people. It's the typical leftist pulling up the ladder technique, isn't it? It's just a little shinier. Okay, well, we can get back on some must talk for a little bit because I do have a little bit more to say here. So I guess the question I'll pose, starting with CD, is what do you think we will see in 6 months post Musk purchasing Twitter? What will be the changes?
Two
If
updates. We're going to see 2 updates. And the first one... The first one is going to be... okay, now you just get me off track.
Sorry to derail things. But
Hey,
David Brady's dropping heat in the chat. We had to stop. In South Africa, born and raised in a diamond mine is where I spend most of my
Dude,
days.
tweet that. Tweet that
Dude,
out,
yeah,
and
David
that'll
Brady,
get
you gotta
so much traction.
tweet that at Elon Musk. That might be funny enough.
He was born a poor black child. Anyway, yes, I think 2 updates, and I think the first one that you're gonna see is like gonna make no thing. But just tweet more than you couldn't before. And I think you're gonna see that it's not banned. Like I just think that
so you
that
think
part,
a
like,
loosening up on the
algorithm is gonna
algorithm and
change.
standards.
Yeah, and so I think he's also going to let a whole lot of people go. I think he highly suggests that a lot of people need to go. Because he's going to say we have employed.
Kareem's going to negotiate it. What are you talking about? That's why Kareem's here to negotiate the 2-state Twitter.
So yeah, that's what I
do
think.
it.
I think you're just going to see a loosening. I
gonna buy
don't think it's
Gab.
going to be like some like major rollout. And I don't think if Elon is smart, I don't think that he is going to roll out some news release, some press release that he is doing these changes. I think you're just going to be able to do it and not get banned, because he doesn't want
some more
people
leeway.
who are. Yeah, I think it's
On
just going to
both
happen,
sides.
and then you're going to see the Taylor Lawrence of the world report on it. That like these people, like, they're going to be retweeting us when we say, I can't say, but when we say those words, and then it will get reported in the news by those people. But I don't think he would have some big releases like, this is all the things you can do on Twitter now. But I think in 6 months you'll see 2 updates, and that'll be that.
Sorry about that. Real professional.
Yeah, that was a good hit, though.
Yeah, it was nice.
I was wondering what that crackling was.
Oh yeah, I had to get the thing.
Here's a vape.
It was cheaper
Good for
to
you,
buy
David. Good for
So
you.
I know people think that's insane, but we talked about this on yesterday's show, and we got pretty in depth in it. I talked about what I thought would happen with Twitter, and I still hold those same ideas the next day. It's kind of crazy that we had that conversation and woke up the next day and he had bought Twitter. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
But we mentioned
he was gonna do
yesterday. We mentioned it. Everybody go retweet that shit. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
David Brady's Twitter is a must follow. He does throw up tweets that are pretty fire. And I'm gonna go retweet that. But yeah, it is. Oh God, what is it? When I get the mandatory Neuralink surgery in 10 years, I'll be a shit poster IRL. Dude, that's the only personality Elon will have.
A cyborg.
Oh God. Oh, that's great. Neuralink is weird. I heard about a bunch of monkeys dying, and that shit kind of turned me off the whole idea. But I like the idea of being able to put my chip in a brain and get skinny. That was kind of interesting. I don't know.
What?
That was literally one of the things he said you could do with it. So I was like,
CD's excited.
I'll drop.
Yeah, wait a minute. You put it in here, whatever. If I start, if you were on this podcast and like I started having
everybody who's skinny is getting that chip so they can eat whatever the fuck they want, and all our metabolisms just become that one guy who we all know who can eat whatever he wants and never gain any weight, which every fat person hates. Yeah, Josh, you were built like one of those people. You can tell by looking at you. I had a cousin who's built just like you. You're all skinny as shit. Like you can get just enough muscle tone for it to count, and then that's it.
When I saw Josh in person, I didn't know how. I'd seen how thin he was, but the camera adds some pounds, and then when you see him in real life, it's like, oh my God, how do I get that skinny?
I've met you in person, Josh, right?
Don't pay taxes.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't go to Yale. Jesus, I've just been on so many shows with you. I feel like I've met you at this point. I'm gonna have to see you when I go over to Florida next time.
Absolutely. It's too beautiful not to down here. You gotta get here sooner.
I know. I literally am kind of homesick for at least going and visiting there because I kind of thought it was cool and I want to go back to nice weather.
Elon doesn't have $1 trillion for Disney. I'm sorry. I would love that, though.
Here's the thing.
Can borrow it.
I would.
Yeah, he does.
He would buy it and re-release Songs of the South on Blu-ray, and that'll be hilarious.
He'd remix it. He drops remixes of Song of the South.
You don't need to remix a classic, bro. I'd buy that for my mother-in-law in a heartbeat, bring it to her house, gift wrapped and shit. She loves Disney. I'd be like, let's watch it together. Come on, little tyke. Little 4-year-old on the couch watching it. Guy relive the classics. Show him how things were back in the day.
And stop there. You show him Fox and the Hound. Be like, bro, this is real life. You show him Bambi. Be like, bro, this is real motherfucking life. Okay.
Sorry, his mom just got shot.
Yeah, sometimes
what
mom just
to
gets
Bambi's
shot.
mom?
Okay.
She died. Sometimes somebody just comes and rolls by and just pop pop.
That's the ATF.
Gang gang.
So this was an interesting story.
Go ahead. Wait. In 6 months, what do we see happening? Turn that off.
Okay, you're right. Yeah. Get back to it.
I can tell you what I heard from Tim Pool, and I believe Tim is right.
I believe Kareem, so go.
I get my news from Tim Pool and Luke Radowski. I mean, so Elon did say he wanted a service where you pay $5 a month and you can get verified. Right. So you might see that. He might be more chill on free speech. I don't think he's going to be as much as conservatives or libertarians think he is. I think you'll get Babylon Bee in a couple more accounts, but it's not going to be the huge thing. I think it's more important that people take a look and see what's happening in Shanghai, and they see what's going on with food processing plants being destroyed. Because, hey, I mean, free speech is great, but if you can't eat,
So
if food is then it poses a significant problem that people should be aware of, if they're not libertarian. Like, I don't know, a certain caucus that keeps attacking me and saying, you just want more government. I'm like, what are you doing to fight against the government? Cathedral.
Right. I would argue that with what we've seen Twitter doing and what's going on in China and everything that's going on right now, is all kind of, shifting scales of worry. I think we can kind of pay attention to both things in a way. But I think when I look at what's happening right now, I go 6 months from now. I've seen most software people say that the biggest thing he could do is make it transparent on the software side, meaning that you could see the restrictions that were put on your account, if any were placed there, why they were placed there, be able to repeal those, submit to Twitter, things like that, to say, hey, this was slapped on my account, it shouldn't be there, go through a review process. I'd like to see things like that. I talked yesterday about the fact that I don't think that a full free speech social platform like we're talking about really would ever be successful in the way that we're talking. I still think that's true. I still think Twitter's going to be censored because it has to be to an extent. But I think it will be lighter. I think CD is spot on there. It'll probably be a 20%. In general speech, you're going to have about a 20% uplifting in some of the restrictions, and in political speech, I think you'll see a big lifting of things. You'll probably be able to talk about a lot more political issues openly.
Probably.
Not as much as being able to just say cuss words.
Certainly. Yeah, but I do have one question, because here's a problem I have with Elon, even, politicians, everyone, even people who do say good stuff and anti-government stuff, that sometimes what they do sounds good, and then they do, like, I'm not gonna necessarily say this means anything, but I was like going through some like the old Elon stuff, and he had actually some fairly left-wing socialist views. He said, like, I like a mixture of both. And I saw Grimes, his old girlfriend, or I think his
baby mama, baby moms,
baby mom, baby basically mama. Reading the Communist Manifesto. Yeah, I got 2 of them reading the Communist Manifesto. So you could say, okay, that you're probably looking into it too much, being like a weird truther now.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Woo.
I'm listening, Kareem. We're listening. I'm sorry.
The system is down.
The system is down.
I don't know. Do you think he still has any, or Grimes or him have any still like Marxist beliefs? Because here's the thing. People painted Joe Rogan as like super right, but Joe Rogan still says like, oh, I think Michelle Obama could win. Joe Rogan's still on the left. Jordan Peterson still has some left-wing views. People forget that because the window's gone so far. But if you bring it back, I bet you half of these guys, if the left wasn't so crazy, would be like, I love Andrew Yang. Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders. How left can you get? And I don't mind that. I still watch Joe Rogan, but I acknowledge that a lot of these guys, they're good guys. They have good content. They do great things. But I still feel that Elon, Jordan Peterson, to a certain extent, he's coming more to the ANCAP side or the libertarian side. Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and a lot of these people still have left-wing views. Am I wrong? And I'm collectivists.
No.
People forget.
I think you're right. I guess what I would say is I don't think politics on his side, other than the free speech issue, is being applied here. He's been pretty open about the free speech thing being the reason he's doing some of this. I guess I don't see the political angle getting Twitter to turn it into some socialist haven or something like that from the political angle, because it was already that, right? So I don't know why he would buy it from a political angle or anything like that to do, or what he would even do, taking it private. I mean, obviously he could do anything, but then you risk people pouring off the platform and going right back to a Gab or to a one of
I don't
these.
think he'll buy it. I don't think that he has socialist motivations all the time, but what I do think is when you have some socialist leanings, like Joe Rogan does, you do the apology thing, or you have some left-wing leanings, you get an angry mob and they're like, we don't like this, and you're like, fine, okay, fine, we'll do. They're like, we don't like what you said here. A lot of people, and I'm not even putting this past him, seem to cave to left-wing mobs. The mob gets mad and then they change. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. That's why I said I don't celebrate yet. I want to see if he folds to people working there like, oh, we really don't like this. He's like, oh, well, maybe I'll go along with you. Maybe I won't. I don't know. That's my thing.
So this was the statement he posted up on Twitter, which is free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. And which, by the way, makes the Elizabeth Warren comment even funnier, because it's in the first sentence. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. Elizabeth Warren's like, hold my headdress. It's just fucking Jesus. But, yeah. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, said Mr. Musk. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithm open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. That, to me, means in 6 months, closer to what me and CD said, algorithms backed off, a little bit more freedom, maybe some open source aspects where you can see if your account's restricted, submit if you want that changed, and, maybe have like a group of people that look through that, or an automated system, which he's always good at putting together anyway. So I think it's good, I mean, this is a win for us, but I guess, okay, well, you go ahead and you weigh in then. You give your take.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so right there is everything you needed to see. And authenticating all humans. What does that even mean? How do you go through authenticating? Am I submitting a photo ID? What ID?
Right.
How are you authenticating me? And then what happens to all of the business accounts, the party accounts, the Mises caucus accounts, shit like that? How do we authenticate them as humans? What, does everybody who signs onto that thing have to be authenticated now? Do we all have to submit our ID again to prove to Elon? What's the point of all that? That's going to do the same thing that Facebook just did and push a whole bunch of people off of the platform.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong, but I think his point is, well, I guess we don't know how he's going to make people verify the accounts. I could see him designing something that works based off your phone number instead of your ID. I would be a little more accepting to that. Because
we already do it off
that's out there anyway. Right, well, so like two-step verification, which I have on like my YouTube and all that stuff, means you have to go through the process of logging in on one thing and then logging in on another device. So you have two-step. They could do a system. That already
sounds more work than I want to do.
Right. So I don't think you're wrong. I think you're going to see people pour off, but you're seeing people pour off now because of the political turnoff.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know if say you have 30% of the platform gone, 40%. It's still, by and large, large, gigantic, social media account. And those users are going to slowly trickle back because with some marketing and some turn on, I think, but this is a good comment. Today I heard that censorship will lead to less free speech.
Can I also say one thing real.
Yes, Kareem.
Go ahead.
Well,
Did he just
Sorry,
freeze?
did I lose my connection
Yeah.
for a second?
yeah,
Yeah, you died.
yeah. You're back now,
Can you hear me?
Kareem,
You're
but
back.
That was
We can
pretty
hear you.
fucking funny.
No. Okay. The only thing I want to say is because this gets thrown around all the time, and I hear this all the time. Especially people they love that word, democracy. You just put that anywhere. They're like, this is the bedrock of a free democracy. Trump's undermining democracy. Biden's undermining democracy. And I'm like, democracy is a terrible thing if you've ever read Hoppe. Why is this like, even he's using it as a joke to her, but to me, a functioning democracy is just a majority of people getting together to do whatever they want to whoever they want. So I don't know. To me, that's a very left-wing notion.
I don't disagree.
I'm anti-democracy.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah.
I do not want functioning democracies. I want liberty, and maybe local government if you have to have it.
Raise your hand if you're anti-democracy. Yeah. Okay. So everyone here is anti-democracy. No one thinks that shit is real. Hail Meta,
that's gonna
baby.
be
Hail
great to
Meta.
edit, by the way, because
Hail
I'm gonna
Meta.
cut the audio out of that, and I'm gonna have some like, dude. I took the 2 seconds needed to throw that comment up before we all raised our hands. Oh, that was perfect.
But yeah, no, I agree with Kareem. I made that joke to totally agree with him. That yeah, it's a joke, and there is no.
You know who else who really loves meta? Because I just realized I still have this tab open.
What is that?
Chris Gaines, emo Garth Brooks. This is a thing that happened last night. We went down this rambling fucking rabbit hole talking about Garth Brooks being a serial killer, because the Tom Segura like meme, and fucking she informed me that emo Garth Brooks existed, and I had no idea. It's the best thing ever. This is emo.
Yeah, the
Garth
studio,
Brooks.
like I said, the studio was like, absolutely not. Do not ever bring us anything like this ever again.
Wait.
This is awful. Go back to country music. So this album came out before, I don't know, like there's like his most famous one, right? Where he's like sitting there and there's like a checkered background. So this came out prior to that. And so he was trying to take his country stardom and go to this, and it's absolutely god awful. Listen, Chris Gaines, look it up. Chris Gaines, it's real, and it's 100% the worst shit.
I don't want it
ever
to
heard.
be real. I don't want it to be real.
Does Chris Gaines work out?
Probably.
Dude, Dan would listen to Garth
What
Brooks.
happened? What happened?
What?
Why is that
Did your
happening?
internet? We
Yeah,
hear you.
it's okay. Okay.
Oh, you're
You're undermining our democracy.
Is
What's
that
undermining our
Dan
democracy?
Smots? Oh my god, Dan Smots is emo Garth Brooks. Dude, I want to see Dan Smots this Halloween. Emo Garth
That's Chris
Brooks.
Gaines.
Chris Gaines. I'm never gonna call him that. It's always gonna be emo Garth Brooks.
Yeah, just know it exists. I just feel like everyone should know Chris Gaines exists. Dude, I believe
Dan
you.
has friends.
I believe you, David. I believe you because he loves VeggieTales. Is the only thing he was allowed to listen to as a kid.
Oh,
and that's why he's all fucked
Dan
up.
wasn't.
And he also cannot, and that's why he can't read because he spent all of his time watching VeggieTales. And now,
Did you hear
motherfucker
us
can't
talk
read.
mad? I talked mad smack about VeggieTales yesterday. I was a Jew growing up, and we literally talked shit about VeggieTales. And
I love you.
still to this day, VeggieTales is it's planted cartoon imagery to get kids to want to fuck vegetables. That's the whole show.
Dude, it's
Hey, we're
sexualizing
grooming.
children and wanting them to put cucumbers up their holes.
They're
Mhm.
like Disney. They're grooming people.
Yeah,
Just him in
Yeah.
boots.
it is really. He puts his hair down here instead of over here.
Chris Gaines was a psyop to feminize traditional country male listeners. Yes, accurate. And
Not
the ones
wrong.
that
And then
straight up,
Brokeback Mountain happened.
the ones that straight away he kills and murders and eats. I'm assuming that's how he gets rid of the bodies at this point. Otherwise, he'd have to fill a fucking stadium.
That's violating the NAP.
Oh Jesus! Garth Brooks violates the NAP every time he opens his mouth.
Hey man, unless you're gonna blame it all on your roots, you know what I mean? Until that time.
On
Don't
the
even.
note,
Joshua, I wasn't talking to you. That's cool. Don't shake your head. Yeah. Until
On
you
the
Oh no,
blame
I'm
it
about
all
to
on
burst
your
out into my fit. I'm about to burst out in the song. Don't start me.
in the note,
until, he's gay until we're blaming it all on our roots. You know what I mean? And then for like
On the
however long
note-
that song is, he's not gay.
on the note of
Yep.
genocidal maniacs like Garth Brooks, we can talk a little bit about
Continue.
what's going on in China.
Yeah.
And take note to what it looks like when
China.
somebody like Garth Brooks runs a country.
Brooks is Xi Jinping.
Dude, Garth Brooks would be Xi Jinping. Guaranteed. If he had the opportunity, this dude would have his own killing field with his bare hands.
And I mean, Wayne Z probably does have some bare hands.
Jesus Christ.
It's Garth Brooks. Like
I'm reading these chats that I didn't catch up on. The Jew game talking shit. Anthropomorphic vegetables.
Anthropomorphic Jesus vegetables. Get it
The
right.
Jews killed Veggie Tales too. Oh shit.
Yes.
No, I'm saying he's genocidal enough, but he could be Asian. I don't know. Garth Brooks seems like the whitest human on the planet. I can't believe he's anything but that.
Y'all
No.
remember Mr. Wynn from Hey Arnold? That's Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Voices of April. China's internet erupts in protest against censorship of Shanghai lockdown video. We don't really need to go in too far on this. It's just basically saying that there is a lot of people on Chinese social media speaking out against it. There's people in public, obviously, that have been going out against this, and you see like protests and stuff. You see people pouring into the stores, trying to load up on food. We've seen people put into kind of cages around their homes in a way. Seems pretty insane, definitely. It's kind of what we're used to seeing for China. I know that sounds fucked up to say, but it kind of is. Like,
It is, but
we're used to seeing really fucked up stuff go on there, so I feel like this is super desensitized to people kind of in the general world, whether they're paying attention to media or not, because the media is touching on it, but not really to a real deep
I
extent.
haven't even seen it.
Um,
But does this sound
Okay,
like
so yeah,
anybody?
so that's
played
real-
it to you?
Is
What?
that in relations to VeggieTales or the Chinese or Garth Brooks?
Both.
yeah, David, you gotta be.
Because
David,
it
go
could
to
be all
bed. What
three.
time is it? What time is it in Minnesota? Go to
Even
bed.
Shannon
You
knew
got
good
school in the
enough to
morning.
go to sleep.
Even
Shannon
Yeah,
knew good
you
enough
got
to go to
bed,
sleep.
darling. You gotta go to bed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Darth Brooks.
Emo Garth Brooks in the chat will sing you sweet lullabies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dane Collin. Well, I think that people who have seen China and seen what's
The
going on, like,
Chinese. So all of the Chinese are a
Oh.
CIA coup.
No.
Yeah, I could believe that. I mean,
China.
Oh yeah, these singing people are
that's a
definitely.
big.
Mm-hmm. So you
Go ahead,
think?
Kareem. I'm sorry.
And we
No, I was just gonna ask. Like, this seems to me because I do the libertarian stuff, then I go off and troop their land, and that's kind of fun. Get like the best.
Oh my God.
But
JC,
I'm sorry.
JC, David's grades are taking worse than Netflix's stuff.
He's so corrupted. We've done it. I did it. We did it. David, go to bed.
Fuck school.
Anyway, Kareem. No, I was really listening to your point. I'm sorry. I got distracted.
this seems
Just
to
let
me
me
like
cut off. Like,
no, this seems to me right out of somebody's playbook that they wrote on. And I'm like, this guy wrote a book called The Great Reset. He held it up. They're like, no, Kareem, that's not real. I'm like, okay, I have an assignment for you. Get off Google, go to Rumble or Odyssey, look at who Klaus Schwab and Dr. Harari are, and tell me this doesn't sound like exactly like something he'd want to do. I'm not
I hate it here.
but I am saying this sounds like, hey, Xi Jinping probably either read the book, got influenced, and is like, hey, let's try it here first. Why not? They're highly centralized anyway. What are they going to do? I'm sure they want to do this other places. That to me is the Great Reset. So,
okay.
In your mom's face. I think
Do they
that's
have-
the response to that.
Do they have basements in Minnesota? I don't know if they have. Do they have basements in Minnesota?
yes, Klaus
I'm from the
Schwab's
South, so I don't know.
Is
I don't
Klaus
know.
Schwab in the room with you right now? He's the guy they brought in to resurrect the dead Koch brother.
basically. He is in the room, man. No, I'd shoot him.
I'm surprised they're repeating the exact same. Wait a second. I'm surprised. I'm gonna comment on Restream for a moment because this is just a thing that I hate. It takes forever for the comment to transition from the fucking little chat window to the screen. It's kind of dumb. I'm surprised they're repeating the exact same China spectacle. They really think we're all NPCs. Yeah, it is kind of the same thing over again. I'm kind of saying that this whole time. I'm like, it's the same shit twice. We're just like, this is gonna happen. Like, I don't mean to be an asshole about it, but are we expected to drop, like, this isn't if this is the CIA, it's a different story, right? If we can prove that and we go, this is the CIA going into China and they've riled this up and they've locked people down, which I don't know, you're gonna have a hard time proving that. If not, we're assuming this is just the China government being China government and socialist pricks and locking people down and fucking doing what they normally do. And it's in Chinese nature to, starve people if you're in charge of that country. Seems to be what they tend to like to
Great
do.
leap forward, man. Equal
So,
share for everyone.
I don't think it's a far-fetched to think this is just Chinese government doing Chinese government things. And maybe we should just kind of be like, maybe our response should be, we feel bad for these people, support them financially if you can. But, I mean, if we pay attention to this, we're going to forget everything that's happening here in the U.S.
No,
That's my point.
it's good to know it, but I'm saying it is Chinese government doing Chinese stuff, but all these crazy globalists love China with COVID. Oh my God, China
Take
did the
that
best
one to the
thing
bank,
ever.
you fucker.
Well, pull up what I agree with JC, man. I'm not saying what they're doing isn't just the Chinese government starving people, but I am saying the World Economic Forum is probably influencing this stuff. Like they're
Well, no, I agree with all of that. My point is, how much energy do we put into paying attention to this versus the fact that, like, there's food shortages that are going to be hitting the U.S., there's inflation in the United States, we're dealing with all these problems, we're looking at a property bust, we're looking at all these different issues. Like, I think we should prioritize that stuff. That's just, you call me an American first person if that's what you think that is. But yeah, I say we put American first in that regard. We say, hey, listen, from a media perspective, the media is trying to pull us in this direction. Because CNN is covering the China shit on their front page. And so is Fox, and so is MSNBC. There's a reason for that. They want us all to be back in this same loop of being like, oh my God, what is going on over here? Just like we are in Ukraine, pulling us in two directions so we have too much shit to deal with from a media standpoint.
globalists.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I hope Alex Jones does come back on Twitter because then I'll feel normal again. I'm like, yeah, these guys are all behind the China thing. I'm fighting the globalists. There's alien human hybrids.
That must have been what happened, and it is
man.
Shannon.
I like
That did happen because Shannon's my mom, and she fell asleep. So she tagged Dan and said, "Go take my place."
globalists.
David trying to like,
That's
What do you
pretty
think
great.
of the human-animal hybrids in China as well?
Oh, look. Sometimes you just have to like splice a dog and a human together.
They're trying to defy God.
is that what
Oh,
happened
God.
to you, Josh?
Conventional-
They spliced a human dog, and then they came up with you. What dog would you be crossed with?
I don't know.
I
gotta
don't
ask
know.
you.
All I know is that
It's you.
the state looks down upon human animal homunculus hybrids.
Yeah.
For now,
I just got
until there's a Supreme Court case that will justify that. And
What we need to
just give it a
do-
minute. Just give it a minute.
right.
I think that animals. I personally think that animals are going to come before kids. I think that normalizing sex with animals is going to come first.
Yeah.
Just watch.
And
Well, I
prob-
mean,
Just
didn't
watch.
Cenk
you're
Uygur
probably
like
not wrong. That's the issue.
Just
Cenk
watch.
Uygur? We already watched him give this debate on Swamp Creatures. He was like, "You should. It's totally fine. Totally
Someone
okay."
caught the reference.
Yeah, which is a little much, you know. I
We
don't
think
necessarily
Cenk-
think.
Hey.
I don't
We
think
don't
we
think
should be
so.
able to necessarily arrest people for fucking a cow. But like at the same time,
Look, if you
don't
could
fuck
fuck a cow, it
cows.
had to be consensual. That cow's gonna kick the shit out of you and fucking kill you if you didn't want it.
But what if you give the cow 12
You
shots?
have a good point.
Yeah.
What if
Fair
you give the
enough.
cow
The
12
cow
Well,
was
then
at. Look, the cow consented
take
to
the
those
shots?
12 shots.
You make it
Did
beef
cow
jerky.
consent to each of those 12
Yes, it
shots
did.
first? Then I
Garth
guess
Were
he
they
Brooks.
consented
free?
to this dick.
Garth Brooks would fuck and then kill the cow.
Were
Nah,
the shots, were the 12 shots free? Because if the 12 shots were free, he absolutely took them. 100%.
Yeah, he consented.
as long
You
as
wanted
you,
to.
as long as you voluntarily consented to the 12 shots that I paid for, don't be mad later when you woke up and realized you consented to this dick as well. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Fuck me.
I know you
But I
guys
didn't
have heard of a coyote ugly, right? Like when, you wake up and it's just not the person you thought you went to bed with, and you just have to
No,
slide
like that?
your arm.
that may or may
Slide
not
your
have happened.
arm out. Yeah,
You
like
wake up and you're
that.
laying next to Vladimir Putin.
Both of us are getting together. Do you think that? Do you
Yes,
think we
like
could
that.
get the You think we could get the interdimensional lizards people to read Anatomy of the State?
I don't know, but try to get any one of these people to read it.
They're lizards, man. They're all lizards.
Lizards. By the way, shout out
the dragon dresses.
Shout out to JD for sending me that through text message because he's watching this
Okay.
on his television. but I just got text message that link to that photo.
Yeah.
So
The lizard people, man.
This Chinese man was like, "Hey, y'all want to see some shit? Y'all want to see some shit? I'm gonna make these people put on balloon and walk them around and make sure there are cameras everywhere and just watch them in their little balloon suit."
How do you
Like
know
they,
he's
they
either-
all over the
he's
internet.
either on his way to a bail hearing, and that could be he's on bail, or he's the person litigating for the person who's on bail. Or
Nah, he owes
Apparently never been on bail, and I'm here to tell you.
He's
Hey,
trying to convince the court that he's a
some
good
people
guy.
try to show up looking nice to court. Excuse me.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to fight.
I've been in
Nobody
court a
shows
few
up to the
times.
nice
I
court.
respect Kareem more if he just admitted I like the nut and run.
Yeah.
See you later.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, if she can, voluntarily consent
Look.
to having an abortion, you can voluntarily consent to abandoning the child.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely,
have
no
a bunch of
problem.
Baby mamas like Elon.
Yeah, no one's arguing with you, Josh. According to the state of Florida, being unconscious implies consent.
Are those rubber ducks?
Granted, the context was medical treatment for juvies and DJJ, but still, it's on paper.
What?
Well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If she's unconscious, if he's unconscious, consent. Done. Anyway, next topic.
All right, get her unconscious. That's all I heard.
For the
state of
record,
Florida.
I had my camera positioned down because of this window right here. If the sun's at a right angle, because the way I have to have this room designed, it's fucked. But that's gonna change once I move to Florida. Then I'll have the fucking in-person like whole setup. It's gonna be cool. But
You'll
yes.
have sunshine in abundance.
Yeah. What if the sun isn't real though, man?
Jesus fucking Christ! It's those damn shoes again.
They're fucking space lasers.
Fucking space lasers, man. Oh shit.
Hey,
Okay.
wait, can we get David Icke on here at some point?
Much better. All right, we did it. We did it.
Fuck. All right. Let's go ahead and I guess we're kind of covered on story-wise. Is there anything else you guys can think of?
Did anybody watch a documentary called Watch the Water?
No.
Okay.
What's that about?
I don't know that.
Tell us.
What's it about?
There's a doctor named Artis who basically postulated that the scary beer flu wasn't a flu, it was something else, specifically a venom. And he postulated that basically from a researcher named Lou Bing who was assassinated. And I think it's kind of worth the watch, but I'm not going to tell people what to believe. There's some parts of it I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. There's some parts of it I don't. But I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I'll check
Where's
it out.
it
Send me
on? Where can you find
is
it?
it online?
Rumble. It's Rumble.
Rumble? Okay,
It's
well
on
that's
Rumble.
easy.
I can send you a link on Facebook or something.
Okay.
Fucking
What's Facebook?
What is Facebook? I'm telling you right now. In fact,
I
I'll buy it and
Texas,
delete
Texas MC, Texas MC was like, "Hey, we got Twitter. Can you handle the Facebook?" And I was like, "Facebook, what?" And then I realized, like, everyone.
How did they
that
not put
interacts
you in
on
charge of the Twitter? Who the fuck?
Well, I
No.
can. No, I have the
No,
password.
no.
I can, but I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed that I want to do, and so therefore, because we in Texas are not allowed to take language at all, and so there's a whole lot of things that I would really like to say, and I
You
was
probably can't make this statement, but I sure as shit can. And I will say personally, as the organizer from the Mises Caucus in Alaska, that is bull fucking shit. There's no reason that should be happening. From a social media aspect, Texas is the fucking post stuff has sucked. So some of it, not all of it, but some of it I've been like a little bit frustrated with. And that makes a lot more sense now.
So I'm here to tell you
That kind of pisses me off.
and like, dude, and I don't really care. Like, I'm literally in the Discord right now with them. I don't care if they hear. Scott Horton will not allow takeover language, and I just feel like I need to say that out loud because they're afraid to. But Scott Horton keeps us from using takeover language. That's what I was told. So
Then buy them an apple pie.
because apparently there was an attempt by the GOP in Texas to take over the Texas Libertarian Party, and therefore we do not use it. But I'm like, okay, so I'm not allowed to use the same language. I'm not allowed to mirror the same language as national. So, okay.
I know,
then
David Brady. You do great. Was it?
You do great.
David, are you the one who sent the tweet towards Ricada? Because that was some of the best outreach libertarians on the Mises side have done in like a year, in my opinion. Like, even just getting the response from him, that was great.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah,
I agree
look,
with you there. But getting
to
Brianna
answer
Coyle off of anything is difficult. I'm not gonna. We're gonna leave this here.
Well, I can tell you, JC, to answer JC's question, going up against the LP of Texas must be an uphill battle. Seems like there's a lot of wolves Prags. Woke Prags is an
Fucking spot on, dude. Dude. You guys that was like right after another two. That was great.
So yeah, it's I have a lot of work to do. I'm just waiting. I've been putting together a whole bunch of. As soon as you're done with Reno, as soon as you're back, we have work. Because I do think that I saw someone earlier said something about Austin being blue, and I'm not arguing with you. I live in Austin, so I get it. But I do think that Texas is ripe for a Mises caucus. Not a Libertarian Party, not an LPN, Mises caucus. And if they knew we existed, which I don't think that, I think Mises caucus has been browbeaten for so long, they're just scared. I truly believe that.
That's going to be the big issue post. That's going to be the biggest issue post Reno, is that exists in basically every affiliate. I mean, it does to an extent, and that's going to have to take. I mean, that's going to take months to build out of.
Yeah.
And so unless everybody just leaves, which is still an option.
Which would be great. But no, especially in Texas, Whitney's
I would
from
enjoy
Houston.
that so much. I'd do a stream.
Whitney.
I would. Yeah, Whitney seems. Again, I'm going to say this, and this is just my opinion, no one else's. Whitney seems like every other bitchy wine mom or bitchy individual that I've ever met working at a hotel. We'll put it that way.
I was in a sorority in college, believe it or not.
God.
And you can imagine, I was in trouble a lot. You can't imagine. I was in trouble.
You also played bass in a rock band in high school.
No, but I wanted to.
That joke was only for Dan Smots.
And she reminds me of those girls. Exactly.
Yeah,
she reminds me, and like everything she wears, everything, the way she talks. I'm like, okay, I've got your number. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you at all. And
what trouble can I get in for really, yeah, there's things I want to say that I'm like, I don't. No, I know, but I'm still technically an organizer and stuff. I wish I could be more of a dick.
So that's why, I mean, I'm willing to say it on the show. What is she doing? Hang out with nerds like you guys. Because I always love the nerds.
She's no longer in the sorority.
Yeah, David Brady, wait till you go to college. See, all the cool nerdy chicks find all the cool nerdy guys, and that's who we stick to.
So that's been my experience in life.
I also smoked a whole bunch of weed and watched a whole bunch of boys play Magic. I have no idea how the fuck to play Magic. I was fucking there, and I saw them. And
let's be honest.
Those tournaments would go till crazy late.
I don't know if David knows what I'm talking about. I've been to 2 Grand Prix, and those are just fun, right? Because you got a bunch of people there, and it's a blast. It's like a big convention, basically. But then I've been to pre-release events. A lot of those pre-release events go all night, and you start at midnight. And that is, if there is a girl in that building for a pre-release, she either guaranteed has acne all over her face and body, or, and this is the other option, is only there because she's already dating some military dude that happens, or some ex-con, because both of those categories of people also like to play Magic, which is the other demographic.
I was there for the free weed. Understand? I was there because there was free weed, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna play Magic," and I said, "Well, okay."
Dude,
that's cool. I don't know what that means. Do you have
me and David Brady need to have a literal episode just talking about libertarianism and Magic the Gathering.
Hey, it sounds like a good time. Like I said, I'm not here to hate on Magic. That's my point. I'm not here to hate on the Magic players. That's cool.
It's nerdy as shit.
Violate the NAP.
Magic violates the NAP? Is that what you said?
No, I said planeswalkers violate the NAP.
Yes, he's making a reference to something you're not going to understand. All right, well, it has been great talking to y'all tonight.
Absolutely.
And I'm a bad influence uncle.
Yeah, you're a bad boy. You're scary
Mhm.
for that.
So I never did D&D. I did some like weird like self-grown games here of like other stuff, and I've been to a lot of D&D events but never played. That would actually be a good idea. O'Donnell does talk a lot about magic stuff, I've heard.
Do they have free weed? Because I'll go. Do they have free
If
weed?
you're a
Can I
magic,
smoke
so
weed?
If
I'm
just
not
come to
into
every
magic. I just
LP
want free weed.
convention now, Matt.
people used to
Just
literally
find me.
like just snort coke while playing Magic at the place I used to play. Like it was kind of a lit environment, I'm not gonna lie. Like
What the?
Who does coke and plays Magic?
there was a few guys there. I have some stories from that day and age.
Can you imagine
This
their
is a
eyes?
fun time.
Okay, guys. Okay.
And he'll be like, all right, untap, swing.
Yeah,
like,
the best part of
it's
me
your turn, it's your
asking that
turn.
was hearing
Like, you
my
just
wife
roll
out of the
6
bedroom
dice.
going,
I might have to get
say
the
that again.
D&D
Wait, say
app.
that again.
The best part of that was when I asked that was just hearing my wife right after I say that going,
What?
And she's like, I
Yeah,
can think of
I'm here
more
to tell
people
you.
right now.
That's not Coke, it's my energy potion, says Magoo.
Coke, Bang Energy, it's all the same shit.
You guys are gonna get hookers and blow and watch Pokemon dance.
That's what I do. 2 chicks at the same time, man. That's what I do if I win the lottery. 2 chicks at the same time.
It's hard for me to do the
I
chats
do
and
not
do
want
dads
to
at the
do.
same
I
time.
do not want to get hookers and blow and watch Pokemon. There's a whole lot of
Okay,
overlap.
hear
here,
me
though.
out.
Of
Hear me
things I
out.
want to do, but I don't want to do together.
If you arrange it properly and you have the wherewithal, you could theoretically have a DS or a Switch in one hand, like doggy style standing while playing. You could arrange that.
I mean, yeah, it's a hooker. You're paying for her time.
I
The fuck
mean,
do
right?
you care whether you're using it. Like, if you want
I'm
to
investing
multitask, that's
time,
fine.
energy, and resources into
Gotta
playing
catch
this
'em all,
Nintendo
right?
Switch.
Okay,
Like-
black tar heroin. Okay, so Dan from System of a Down said, okay, black tar heroin and Pokemon then. Okay, I'm gonna assume you've never done that because you watched VeggieTales as a kid. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think the two mix. I don't think
That's
you
the
can
gateway,
do that.
you fucker. It's VeggieTales, a gateway to anal sex, putting cucumbers in
Pokemon.
places they don't belong, and doing drugs. We fucking
Yeah,
synthesized
Putting cucumbers in your butt and shooting dope in there, too. Tragic.
Dude, I'm telling you, vegetarian you to put a cucumber up your butt.
it. What are the hookers gonna do?
Look,
Themselves
I'm more
while we
comfortable
watch.
No. You give the hook yet, okay? And so you can play against each other. So you're not only paying for time to fuck her, and
don't-
then you get like a person to play with. Like, hey,
No, I'm
okay,
yes.
just gonna bust out the old school N64. We're busting out Pokemon Stadium. You're getting a controller.
VeggieTales and chill. I don't think it counts if you use a cucumber, Dan.
dude.
better
No,
make sure
Josh.
to wrap that
If I was a
cucumber up.
hooker, yeah, if I was a hooker,
Double-
and you
If I
could
was
Double-
a hooker,
add
double
back-
bagged
I'd
cucumber.
start this conversation.
If I was a hooker and just, I'm gonna cut that right there.
And if I was,
yeah,
Nintendo 64, I would be like, hey, can I just like stay?
So
Can I just like,
I,
hang out?
You're like, hey, girl.
I can already, by the way, earlier, this is
This is
editor
the fall.
brain. Earlier, CD was talking about the fact we were talking about VeggieTales earlier. I definitely have her on tape saying putting cucumbers in places that they don't belong or some phrase like that. I'm just
did
going to
that for
loop
you,
those
Lee.
two together.
I did that for you, Lee. I did that for you. You heard that. I did it for you.
Media just cut clips out and make people like, oh, I didn't say that.
I hope you get 15,000 views on me saying, I wish
David
if
Brady?
I was a hooker.
Dude, I would absolutely, when David Brady turns 18, take him to like go get a
Wait a
hooker.
minute.
Like, we're just like, here's a hooker, and we come
What
back an
is-
hour
what-
later and he's playing Magic.
Wait,
Like,
why are you not 18 before Reno?
dude, could you fucking imagine If this
I would
kid,
take
did you fucking imagine what would have
I would
happened?
take him straight
would've
down
been-
to the fucking
Dude.
the bunny ranch, and I would buy him Air Force.
We would
80
have
in a
really
hot
corrupted
second.
him. It would have been,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
He would have went home and like his
couldn't
parents
go
would have
home.
smelled it on him.
He couldn't go home. After that, it's over. His life, as he knew it, is over, and
Bro,
now
I'ma
he has to
put
make
the
a new
most
one with us.
experienced hooker in the game.
He's down in
on
his
him.
basement hiding.
Yeah, for David Brady. 2023 Pork
Oh
Fest is the best.
shit!
There's not gonna be.
I'm
a
gonna be
2023
there.
Pork Fest. Nope, there's not gonna.
I'm
be
gonna
one.
be there. There's not.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Why?
No, I'm just
Oh, you're
kidding.
fucking you
There's gonna be
asshole.
one.
You've pissed
Yeah,
me
because
off.
there's going to be a 2023 Florida Freedom Fest.
Is that
there's
actually a
gonna
I'm
thing?
coming to that for
We're
sure.
actually, we've been talking about working on something like that. We've been trying
No
to nail
shit.
down a location. Yeah, it's just kind of like getting it started, like Pork Fest or Childersburg. It's like it's going to be the first year's going to be kind of shitty.
Dude,
So
it's campgrounds, man. There's so
I
many of
know.
those in
Baby.
Florida. Just call
We have
one
an
and
idea
fucking
already.
find a.
I just
Find
need
one
to be
that's
able to
got like
fly.
a couple. Because I'm looking right now at like camper spots and stuff too, so I'm already looking at a bunch of these places. But a lot of the ones I found in Florida too already have big like gazebo things on them, and you're like you wouldn't even need to necessarily rent out a bunch of tents and shit either. You could just roll with what they have. So it's definitely that. That'd be so cool to have one in Florida. But 2023 Pork Fest, I'm gonna be there no matter what. I will be there at that event. So
I'm going to be
Well,
there this year.
I'm gonna buy.
What's So yeah. So
I can't
like,
say
he's
on
a-
air what I'll buy David Brady. I have a friend in
Festivals-
Michigan at my age. I want to bring with to Pork Fest.
So
A friend. A
festivals are
girlfriend?
collectivism. It sounds like you're just butthurt, Dan. I guess you just don't get.
Festivals
Try
are
to tell 'em.
collectivism. Is Dan? Does
Hater.
Dan?
Don't listen to Dan. He's a hater. Dan is a
Was
fucking
Dan-
hater because he can't.
Was Dan
read.
not
The
at the last?
Libertarian Jack Skellington.
Yeah, he can't. Look, he's just mad because he didn't get invited, right? He's got to pay his way to go, and he's a diva, right? So he's used to getting his way paid, and then he's also constantly mad, subconsciously mad, because he can't read.
Well, I will have you.
So- It's the thing. Don't listen to Dan Spots. My point is, don't listen to Dan Spots because he is a hater and just is mad because he can't read.
That's okay. The president can't either.
That's what he told me, and I was like, "That's not an excuse." And
Come on, man. You know the thing. Let me shake hands.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be there
Shake
getting
hands.
paid too. This time, are they going to pay you this time, Dan? They didn't pay you last time.
I don't know.
wonder-
I'm gonna ship my
wonder,
pants at the back.
Yeah, LPN didn't pay you last time. Support fest sounds
You're scary, dude.
He's not wrong.
Yes.
No time for girls, only Rothbard. Oh shit.
Yeah, homeboys
No
fighting
pussy
real
and
good.
what it does to a
We need to do
motherfucker.
an episode on why libertarian boys can't get laid, because I'll do it. And that is part of the problem.
You should all go watch The System Is Down to see how poorly Dan reads. Patrick is
Look, I'm
laying
not
it down.
like.
The
I love Dan. I am Dan.
Was Dan
I
homeschooled
am-
like me?
hip hop.
He was.
Hip-Hop
He was
Anonymous?
until he was like in junior high or high school. That's why he only ever watched VeggieTales, and that's also why he has.
See,
the way
I
that
had the
he is.
opposite effect. Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have
And-
VeggieTales.
Right. And so like he
it's the
thought-
fucking vegetables. He was thinking about putting them in places his whole life, and it kept all the words out.
No, seriously. So
The education system is down.
if you listen to Dan, you would know. It's
I
down.
wish I knew what all these comments said. He doesn't even know.
No.
He has to have somebody sit next to him and type. Like it's crazy, man.
So when Dan came out and did that whole thing, he I think it was a 2 or 3 tweet thread for like his endorser Josh Smith. I literally was like,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know Dan knew this many words.
Oh, John
This is
Hudak wrote that
impressive.
whole thing.
I could not believe Dan wrote that. No way. No way. He doesn't know that many words. He doesn't. There's no way. No, the best is whenever he's like, look, like he'll be like this. He'll be like, I wish I knew what any of these comments said. Downward smiley face. And like that's how he reads. I swear to God. I watched
And furiously types
That's
the
pretty
comment.
good. I give him thumbs up. That's pretty good from what I've seen on our political arena. So that's pretty good.
Go. Everyone should shameless plug. Everyone should listen to that show, and just for the fact that Dan can't read, and I tell him that every day. Like, okay, you're cool, and like you can edit videos, and like that's dope, but I can read, and you cannot.
I remember like Tim Pool hazing the book. He's like, you can't talk. You say wit instead of with. And I'm just like, wow.
No, seriously, it's a thing. So that's really funny. See these
Being mean. Wow.
Oh shit!
I mean, if the shoe fits,
I didn't say that. How do you know I didn't say that?
stop acting like one. You wouldn't get called one.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I used a hard R too.
And then she
No
talked
God
about
here,
Veggie
all
Tales
good.
some more.
You're like Hunter Biden now.
What?
You're-
High on
you're-
crack?
You're just 3 siblings away. And on that note, I say we close this out. I like the street cred.
Joe Rogan apologized for saying that. Get
Wait,
Joe
what?
Rogan to apologize for you.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. This is a good time to plug, I guess. We'll go ahead and do that. Starting with Josh, you go ahead.
I plugged everything at the beginning. Come check
Oh,
us
wow.
out on Swamp Creatures at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday nights. And I'm going to pass it off to Kareem. We're going to go around the circle.
Woo! It's a circle of something. All right. I am Kareem, state organizer with the Mises Caucus in Pennsylvania. Check me out on The Essential Libertarians. Also, check out my co-host podcast on The Quantum Effect, Daniel Bitro. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you around.
Is it my turn? Okay. I don't have anything to say. I'm CD McRae at Lady Incap on Twitter. Y'all come follow me. I also just want to say congratulations to the Mises Caucus. We fucking did it this weekend. I just think someone should just say it out loud.
that
Like,
campaign
we
thing.
fucking did that shit.
$40,000.
All right?
$40,000. We were looking
Fuck
for
it.
$8,000 on a weekend. We made $40,000. What's that? A 5 times increase? 5 times. 5 times.
Like
5
it
times
was
over what-
absolutely incredible. And so everyone
Yeah,
who donated, everyone who was a part of that, thank you for making sure that you allowed people to be able to go to Reno who otherwise, and that is how we're successful. And as long as we can keep this momentum up after May 31st, which is what I'm most interested in, we need to keep going. But I think that's a great, and we can do it again this weekend. Nothing to say there that we can't do it again this weekend. Making sure all the delegates get to Reno. That's what's most important right now for the caucus.
Run it back.
What?
Do it again.
Yes, do it
Absolutely.
again. Do it again. We can do it.
Rewind.
We can do it.
Run
And
it back. We're repeating.
so
All right,
I'm
well-
with Josh. I'm with Josh.
I will
Back
say
to back,
that
baby. Back to back.
I got to get in the chat there for a bit on the fundraising thing. I thought it was great. It was awesome to see that get blown by like the what they wanted and what came in, and just the fact that like you're seeing on the other end of that the LNC go through all this trouble and they're worried about credit and stuff, and it just shows that the money's here. It's just people don't want to donate to a party that's not doing anything to fucking support them.
I don't want to be, for the record, CD never said she wanted to be president. Nobody wants to, I don't believe women should vote. What are you talking about?
Guys, come on. Like, the Dan Smots would be very upset if he could actually read these fucking comments.
Right. Thank you, Josh. That's like the sweetest thing anyone said to me in the last week. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Dan Smott's text-to-speech software. And we will...
hey, Siri, make this comment for me.
We will catch you on the flip side. Just go follow me on my Twitters at Liberty Layton.
Woody woo.
Woohoo. I love this office thing.
All right. We will catch you guys next time, man. Peace.
Good night.
Bye.